Welcome back and welcome to another readathon vlog. Another Bout of Books has been and gone. Bout of Books is a wonderful, low-key, week-long readathon. There are challenges every day, there are Instagram challenges, there are Twitter chats. I hosted some reading sprints. And yeah, they have 3 throughout the year, one in January, one in May, and one at the end of August. And they just pick great points in the year to really get a handle on your reading. The one in January is a great kickstart to the year. The one right now is before about 1 million books are released. And of course, the one at the end of summer lets you finish up all those reads that you wanted to read in the summer. So I've vlogged the whole week. If you follow me on social media, which is always linked below, you will have seen a few of my updates. But here is that vlog footage for you now. I will be back afterwards to give you some stats on how many books I read, how many pages I read, etc. So yesterday I prepared for Bout of Books by finishing off my current reads. I did end up reading a little over midnight, but to kind of counter that, I started part of my Bout of Books TBR, so I'm already kicking it off with book 1. And this morning I am preparing for Bout of Books by making some coffee. So as you can see, I'm fully prepared. It's Bout of Books week. It's so exciting. Always love this week. I'm glad that there are 3 of them throughout the year. The May Bout of Books is generally a fun one. It's normally quite a busy time, so we'll just see how I get on. I will keep you updated. Cheers. Okay, so far this morning I have listened to some audiobook of Girls with Sharp Sticks. I listened to a little bit of that before going to bed last night just to get a head start on the readathon, and then I listened to it on my journey here. I'm about to go in and see a movie, but as you know, if you've watched my vlogs before, I do sit with my headphones on until the very moment the movie starts. We're talking through, like, I don't watch the whole 20th Century Fox Illumination whatever intro bit. So I'll probably have a good like half hour, 40 minutes more listening time. I'm just about at the halfway point of Girls with Sharp Sticks, so it's going well. And then I will keep you updated this afternoon on what I read. And then tonight, of course, is the Bout of Books chat, which is always awesome. So we are still on day 1. I have just taken part in the Twitter chat, which is always fun. Definitely, if you are thinking of taking part next time, make sure you schedule to take part in one of the Twitter chats. There's always 2. One is in Monday night US time, and the next is Saturday morning US time. So I know when I was doing it in the UK, I didn't used to do it until the Saturday one because the Monday night one was just out of the question. I have done a lot more audiobook today. I did a little bit of Kindle reading when I had a coffee earlier on, but not a whole lot. I didn't even bother showing you that. So I've just made another cup of tea. I'm going to read some Kindle, and then I'm probably going to take my audiobook down to the gym and move a little bit, because we have to remember during a readathon to move as well as just sit and read. Right, let's go listen to some audiobook. So I really thought I'd come on here and updated you last night, but apparently I didn't. It's the start of day 2. Last night before bed, I finished listening to Girls with Sharp Sticks, which I also started on day 1, as that's 1 complete book done, and it's from the TBR as well. I listened to half of Cinders and Sparks, I read half of Cinders and Sparks by Lindsay Kelk. And I'm intending on reading the second half today. Today I'm going to an event with Sandy and Menon tonight because it is the publication day for There's Something About Sweetie, so I will get myself a copy of that and probably do some reading of that. Surprise, surprise, reading. I have my coffee. I need to do work on a couple of videos, and then it'll be, yeah, I think breakfast and reading. Not sure. I might wait until I go out for breakfast. We'll see. Right, I think in true readathon tradition, we're going to go and do some book shopping. So I did end up buying some stuff in Barnes & Noble. I bought the new Sandia Menon, There's Something About Sweetie. I was going to sit and read it there in Barnes & Noble, but their Starbucks just seemed to have one person working, and they just took so long getting the person in front of me's order that I just left, came to a different Starbucks. So we have coffee, we've had breakfast. And now I'm gonna find somewhere cool to read because it's really quite hot today. So this evening's event with Sandia Menon was awesome, but I'm going to put out a whole video about that if it's not already up by the time this one's up. If it is, I'll link it. If not, it's coming. This was, of course, one of the books that I bought during my book shopping today. There's Something About Sweetie, came out today. It was wonderful to launch it. And in terms of a reading update, I read up to page 94 in this one because I was just reading over breakfast and then a little bit before work in between listening to some audiobook. I will show you the other couple of books that I bought just as a sneak peek. I think one of them just gave me a paper cut. Yep. That's the price we pay for being book lovers. I got Hope and Other Punchlines by Julie Buxbaum. You know I love her writing, so I'm excited to see this one. And how gorgeous is this cover? Like, it's just beautiful. When it's got a 20% off sticker on, how can you resist? And then I wasn't sure which version of this I wanted to buy, but then since I was in Barnes & Noble, I thought I would do it. And this is the Barnes & Noble special edition. Is Again But Better, which you know all about. There is the naked book for you. I know you'll probably have seen this on Instagram anyway. I finished listening to 2 Lindsay Kelk books in my bath just now. Well, I didn't finish reading one and finish listening to the other. I finished listening to I Heart Christmas, so I now only have I Heart Forever and I Heart Hawaii left to go in the series. But tomorrow will be a non-I Heart audiobook. In case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of alternating a little bit. Although Thursday I might do a non-I Heart one as well. I don't know. We'll see how we get on, because I do have a new release pre-ordered. But yeah, I finished reading Cinders and Sparks, which is really good. There's a middle grade novel being released on the 30th of May as well, and is obviously a retelling of Cinderella, but it's a bit like, what if Cinderella was actually X, Y, and Z, and what happens after the slipper fits and she gets taken to the palace? And I liked that, so I'm just immersing myself in Lindsay Kelk. I don't know, I think tomorrow will probably be a non-Lindsay Kelk day. What is up with that? So yeah, so I enjoy reading in the bath. I find that I don't get distracted reading in the bath, so you can probably bet that there's going to be a little bit more reading in the bath going on during this readathon. Not sure how much reading I'm going to get done tomorrow, but then I read a little bit more this evening than I was expecting to, so more to kind of ahead of the game. But yeah, another 2 books finished, making that 3 so far at the end of day 2. That's not bad. That's not bad. Hopefully tomorrow I will get to read a little bit more of There's Something About Sweetie. Fingers crossed. So I am out and about again today. I was volunteering this morning, so I got a little bit of audiobook listening in on the way there and on the way to try and pick up breakfast. Volunteering was at the library, so technically read 2 books there. I've just been for some lunch and read some of There's Something About Sweetie, so I'm just about halfway with that one now. I'm really hoping to finish it today, but we are seeing a movie tonight, so it might be a bit limited with reading time, but I've got another hour before I have to start work, so whether I put that into audiobook or whether I put that into finishing this or leave this for bedtime reading, I don't know. So as you can see, we just saw a movie, but we're back now. So I'm gonna make a cup of tea. I've got a bit of a headache, so I might have to just do audio, but then I want to finish The Sun Is Also a Star as soon as possible. A, because I have a pre-ordered audiobook that's coming out tomorrow. It'll hit my Audible at 8 AM, so that. And B, because I'm going to see the movie on Friday, so I need to have finished it by then anyway. So I'm gonna have a drink and see if I feel up to reading some physical book, because I'm like really into, I want to read some more. I read a couple of chapters just here and there, grasping on little bits of time. Maybe I need to go onto Twitter and do some reading sprints. We'll see. So I've read up to page 167 of There's Something About Sweetie, and as you can see, I'm just getting lower and lower on the sofa here, so I'm going to switch to audio because my head is still hurting and my eyes are still hurting, but it was nice reading this one with a cup of tea. I guess it's going to get finished tomorrow then. Good morning. Coffee here. How is it Bout of Books Day 4? What happened to days 1, 2 and 3? Yesterday I didn't finish off my current read, There's Something About Sweetie. I did make some progress on it. I did read it all through lunchtime, and I did manage a little bit of reading in the evening, but I did have a headache, as you'll have seen. I tried really hard to finish The Sun Is Also a Star, but I had to go to sleep. It just wasn't happening. I may manage to finish it off this morning before book group. I'm having some trouble getting my pre-ordered audiobook on my phone, which always seems to happen to me with pre-orders. Does anyone else have this problem with pre-orders and Audible not appearing on their app when they should, when they've sent them an email saying it should be there? I don't get it. I'm trying to sort that out just now. I'm just putting the finishing touches to today's video, so by the time this is up, it will already be up. It's my review of Queenie. Let's link it, why not? I have book group today, I'm seeing a movie today, I have work today, but the evening is a little more open, so I may do some evening reading. So yes, that's my update. Let's see where the day takes us. Okay, just made it in time, so I'm off to book group. It's been a busy morning already. Don't know how that's happened, but I'm dressed, I'm here, let's do it. So here I am back in the car again. I finished listening to The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and then I went into the movie theatre, and the trailer for the movie, which I'm seeing tomorrow, came on, so that was cool. I was like, I know all these things that were just happening. And I have started the new page 2 novel, If You Could Go Anywhere, which came out today. I pre-ordered it, it landed on my Audible. I haven't read any physical books today, just because I wanted to finish that audiobook to start this audiobook. So now it's time for work, but I should get some physical book reading hopefully, and probably some more audiobook reading done tonight. I would love to finish There's Something About Sweetie tonight. I'm not sure if it'll happen or not. We will see. But now it's time for work. So it's Thursday night and we've just gone out to get donuts. We listened to some audiobook on the way back. But these are the donuts, so it's worth the hour round trip. Well, that was obviously yummy, but I need a cup of tea now. I've just realised the t-shirt that I'm wearing today is the perfect readathon t-shirt. So it's day 5 of the readathon. It's Friday, which is very exciting. I listened to about 50% of If You Could Go Anywhere yesterday, and I did a little bit more reading before bed. I don't think I vlogged that. I was doing some reading sprints on Twitter. I'm hoping to get There's Something About Sweetie and If You Could Go Anywhere finished today. Right now I am about to go into the car wash because readathoning means that you can read anywhere at any time, and although it gets a little bit loud, as long as I turn up my audiobook I can still hear it in the car wash. So yeah, you can come into the car wash with me and let's listen to some page tune together. So I just finished listening to If You Could Go Anywhere by Page Toon. I also had some nice reading time with a coffee, and did some reading sprints on Twitter actually, with There's Something About Sweetie. I also read a little bit of that over lunch, and I have now moved on to I Heart Forever. I can't believe that I only have one book left in the I Heart series to read. What's up with that? Prologue for I Heart Forever, possibly best thing ever. I just love it. I just love everything about it. So I want to read it again. I've just listened to the prologue, want to read it again. But yeah, movie tonight. The Sun Is Also a Star, so there will be, if it's not up by now, a book versus movie video on that one. So I am just back from the cinema from having seen The Sun Is Also a Star. I have my Sprite Zero with peach. This is Mum's favourite. And I've just filmed a rather lengthy book versus movie video, which by the time this video goes up will already be up, so I will link it up here. I finished listening to If You Could Go Anywhere. I don't think I've popped on here. Did I pop on here and say that? I can't remember. It's been a long week so far. I'm looking forward to just chilling and reading this weekend. I started listening to I Heart Forever by Lindsay Kelk. I love the prologue of this book so much, and it just, every step further I get into the I Heart series, I get more and more excited for I Heart Hawaii. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Where is it? It's in the car because I took it out with me in case I finished my other book today, because you never know, do you? You never know. You have to keep books with you at all points. So I should probably go and get that out the cars in case I get ready to read it tomorrow, which is quite likely actually. I have less than 100 pages of There's Something About Sweetie left to read, so I'm going to try and make a little bit more of a dent on that just now. It's just coming up for 11 o'clock on Friday night, so I should be able to sit down and read a nice chunk of it. I mean, I've got a drink already, so I don't need to go and make another one. So yeah, I'll come back and update you probably next time I finish something. So it's the end of day 5. And I just finished There's Something About Sweetie. I was struggling to stay awake a lot. But I was like, oh, but it's so good. I had to make myself like sit up and finish reading it. So yeah, so on to another new book tomorrow. Need to decide whether I'm going to start another physical book or if I'm going to try and finish I Heart Forever so that I can start I Heart Hawaii, which I have in physical proof form. We'll see. I will see you in the morning for the next Bout of Books. So this morning is the Bout of Books chat. So I have my coffee. I've just grabbed some breakfast. I've got some painkillers because my head is still sore. But it's very quiet on the chat this morning. But of course, I am listening to some Lindsay Kelk because it wouldn't be this occasion of Bout of Books without all the Lindsay Kelk books. So after the Bout of Books chat this morning, I listened to the rest of I Heart Forever on audiobook, which means I am now reading I Heart Hawaii, which, yeah, you'll have seen me posting about on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I was excited to get to it, but now I don't want it to end. I'm just under halfway. I've been doing some sprints on Twitter, which has been fun, even though nobody's been joining in, holding myself accountable to doing some reading. Went for a little walk to go and get some cold brew. Can't remember if I took a picture of it, I don't know. And yeah, so just having a snack and doing some reading, and then it'll be time to get some dinner. This lighting's quite nice, I quite like it. Yeah, I'm anticipating finishing that today. I don't know if I'll start anything new today. I don't know. I'm like, my aim this week was to get to this book, so the fact that it's Saturday and I'm at it already. Yeah, posted the update on the blog, done today's Instagram challenge. Can't believe it's the last day tomorrow. Where has the week gone? So it's the last day of Bout of Books. I have a couple of video things I need to do and a couple of Instagram things I need to do. While the videos are uploading, I'm going to read with my cup of coffee. Although I do have a bit of a book hangover after finishing I Heart Hawaii. I do have a bit of a book hangover. I tried to read a little bit before bed, just wasn't happening. I think maybe I was just tired and I needed to go to sleep. So yeah, let's see what we can do with the final push, the last day of Bout of Books. Cheers. So whilst my videos were uploading, I was able to make a start on Messy Wonderful Us by Catherine Isaac. This wasn't necessarily going to be the next thing that I picked up, but I saw too many people reading it and I had to start it, and it's so compelling so far. I'm only like an eighth of the way in it because I've read 50 pages. But yeah, I read that and drank my cup of coffee, and now I'm gonna go and edit my video. So I ran some sprints on Twitter this afternoon, and I got to the halfway point in Messy Wonderful Us. When we went out for brunch this afternoon, I read some over brunch, and then I've just been down to the gym for like 45 minutes, and so I started listening to an audiobook because gym time can mean a nice chunk of audiobook time. I was listening to This Book Is Not Yet Rated, which is one I got from the library, and then I put a hold on both the book and the audiobook, and they kind of both came at once, so it's one of those I might switch between. But I'm going to go back to reading some Messy Wonderful Us just now and see how I get on. It's just gone 6, so there are less than 6 hours left of Bout of Books. Well, it's now Sunday evening, back from the gym and dinner and everything. I had a micro nap, and I've just run a bath. So I'm going to read the last of Messy Wonderful Us in the bath. yes, I think I'm going to finish it during the bath. I'm very excited. I feel like normally I have more baths during a readathon. This is only the second one this week. What's up with that? I'll let you know how I get on. So I hope you enjoyed that footage. I always try and remember to film as I go along, but sometimes I forget. Yes. So the first book I finished was an audiobook, and that was Girls with Sharp Sticks, which is a young adult thriller by Suzanne Young. I was recommended this one by Beautifully Bookish Bethany. I really enjoyed it. I liked it so much more than I thought it was going to. I'm thinking about making a whole video about this one, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Then the second book I finished, which was also on audiobook, was I Heart Christmas by Lindsay Kelk. If you've been following my TBR and wrap-up videos, you'll know that I was rereading the I Heart series, ready for I Heart Hawaii coming up. I read New York and I believe Hollywood in April, and was planning on reading the rest in May, ready for I Heart Hawaii being released on the 30th of May. This one was 369 pages and I loved every minute of it. Although when I was listening to it, it was super hot. Today it's snowing. Should have saved it for today, clearly. Then the next book I read was also by Lindsay Kelk and was on my Kindle, and it is her new middle grade novel, which is also coming out on the 30th of May. It's called Cinders and Sparks, Magic at Midnight, and I'm going to have a review of this one on my blog, I believe on... By the time you watch this video, it will already be up on the blog, so I will leave it linked in the description box, and you can go and read all my thoughts on that one. Then the next book is also one that I don't have a physical copy to show you, but it is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This was also a reread for me. A few books this week were rereads, but I wanted to reread this one before going to see the movie. You'll have seen in the vlog footage, I went to see the movie on the Friday of Bout of Books week. I listened to this one on audio, whereas the previous time I did it in physical book form. Both I'd really recommend. And I have a book versus movie video all about this one, as well as a movie review. So I will leave that linked up here if I haven't already linked it in the video. I may have said in my vlog footage that I've already linked it. I can't remember. And then obviously, as if you've seen any of my readathon wrap-ups before, you know I volunteer at the library, so I always count the picture books that we read there as part of my readathon wrap-up, and often part of my monthly wrap-ups. I sometimes forget, but we read Hip Hop Lollipop and Tiptoe Joe during the Stories and More session during Bout of Books, and I've just come from another one just now. Both great reads, and definitely to be included on the Bout of Books wrap-up, because they are reading that I did during Bout of Books, and they add 64 pages to my page count for the week. Then again, if you've watched the footage, you'll have seen that I went to a Sandia Menon event for the launch of her book There's Something About Sweetie, which features Sweetie, who is fat and an athlete and Indian American, and oh, this was just so much fun. Again, thinking about making a whole video about this one. I believe I made videos about Sandia's previous two books, but I read this one in physical book form, and at the event I got the book signed as well on this beautiful title page. Yes, so you'll have seen me reading this one in the vlog footage, and this one was 384 pages. Then I also listened to a new release on audiobook. I had pre-ordered the new Page 2 novel, If You Could Go Anywhere, so I pre-ordered it on audiobook and I listened to it from when it was released on Thursday through into Friday, so that was really good fun, and that review is also already up on my blog, which, as I mentioned, is linked below. Then back to Lindsay Kelk, because, you know, she made up 4 books out of the week and most of the books I read in May. So here we have I Heart Forever, which is the one that was released 2 years ago. And this one I did on audiobook. The first time I read it, I believe I read it in physical book form, this one right here, which is one of my signed books. I do have a lot of signed Lindsay Kelk novels. But yeah, I read this in audiobook this time because I just love that audiobook narrator. And then as soon as I'd finished this one, which was 400 pages, I went straight on to the new one. I went on to I Heart Hawaii, which I just absolutely loved. Again, review of this one will already be on my blog. This one comes out on the 30th of May. And if you're in the UK, make sure you check Lindsay's Instagram or her Twitter, because all her tour dates are on there, and you need to go to one of these events if you can get, you know, a bus or train or a drive or a plane to one of her events. They are always so much fun. I am gutted that I can't be there to go, but I have a few friends who are going, so I am going to get a signed copy of one. But yeah, this was wonderful. As I say, review is on my blog already, so go and check that out. And this was also 400 pages. And then I started part of an audiobook just because on the last day I needed to be out and about and doing a few things. I needed to go down to the gym, stuff like that. And I was like, I need an audiobook to read. So I picked one that wasn't on my Bout of Books TBR, but was on my May TBR, knowing that I wouldn't finish it during Bout of Books, but I have already finished it now. I'm filming this on the Tuesday after Bout of Books, and that was This Book Is Not Yet Rated, which I've realised I've written in my post here that it was on ebook. It was not. I listened to the audiobook, but I do have the physical book there as well. And during the readathon, I listened to 118 pages of that because I listened to up to chapter 17. So I was able to check the physical book and see how much I'd read. And then the final book of the readathon that I literally, not even kidding you, closed the cover on this at exactly midnight. It's almost like I could hear a clock bonging midnight somewhere, because obviously the readathon ends at midnight just like it starts at midnight. And that is Messy Wonderful Us by Catherine Isaac. I am slightly unsure of the release date of this one. I believe the paperback is coming out March next year in the UK. I will try and find out release dates and put them in the description box, because I know it's moved a couple of times, but I saw other people had been reading this and I was sent the proof for this like a couple of months ago. So I really wanted to get into it, and oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. The finished cover is going to look yellowy like this right here. This is obviously the proof cover. You can see I've marked a couple of, well, you can't actually, it's too light, it's too light. There we go. I've marked a couple of things that I just loved in the book. This just kept me guessing right up until the end. I thought that I was right about something, and then no, I was wrong about it, and then I thought that this was going to happen, and then nope, didn't happen. But then, oh, what about this? This isn't going to happen. Oh yes it is. Oh, so good. So good. I will have a full review up of this one on the blog, probably a little closer to publication date now, but get excited about this one. If you love Do Me Everything, you will love this. I recommend pre-ordering it because I loved every moment of it. Seriously. So that being 400 pages, complete books I finished this week. I finished 11 complete books this week. 3 young adults, 2 picture book, and the rest adult novels. 3 young adult? Yes. Yes. Oh, 3 young adult, 1 middle grade, 2 picture books. No non-fiction this week, which is surprising for me, not to have non-fiction in my reading in any week, to be fair, but road tripping soon, so we'll be full of non-fiction audiobooks. I've got them all lined up and ready to go. Those 11 books totaled 3,463 pages, and that 3,463 pages also includes my one part book, this book is not yet rated. So yeah, I had a really good reading week. I did feel tired at the end of it. I think my eyes were a bit like, okay, we need to close now. We're done reading, close your eyes. And last night when I came in, I'd done some audiobook and a little bit of Kindle reading during the day, but last night when I came in, I was like, I just like to watch the telly. I'm just going to watch TV for a little bit because I feel like I haven't watched TV for a while. But, you know, I still went to the cinema, I still went to work, I still went to an author event, I still went, you know, out and had brunch and stuff like that. So Bout of Books allows you to do that. That is why it is such a wonderful readathon. If you haven't joined in before, go and get yourself on the website, get yourself ready for their August readathon. Depending where you are, depends on whether it's still summer vacation or not. It is pre-Labor Day, so just depends on where you are in the world or in the country. But yeah, highly recommend it. I hope you enjoyed watching the vlog footage, or if you just watched the wrap up, I hope you enjoyed watching this wrap up. I will be back with another video for you on Thursday. So yeah, make sure you subscribe so that lands in your subscription feed. Thursday I will be at Book Expo, so you know that vlog is coming as well. So excited. Thank you so much for watching.